Hi, good morning. It's Crystal, and yes, I had a sub request for Paula Patton to break her down, and so I'm gonna look at this here. And the reason I chose to do this one today was because I woke up and I guess my Angela Bassett video had like an extra 500 views overnight. But also I woke up and I had 50 or 100 more new ugly comments just overnight on that video. So finally, and this person right here, Veronica Bolanos, was the only positive comment that I had at all overnight. And yeah, I ended up, like, if you want to pause, you can read this part right here. Because, yeah, I'm just talking about why I took comments, I disabled comments on the Angela Bassett Transvestigation video, because basically I was forced to. I got so many, because there was a girl on there, and she was being ugly to me yesterday, and so, just back and forth, and so finally I ended up blocking her, and it seems like she sent all these people to attack that video after I finally blocked her just for being ugly, which she was the one being ugly in the first place to start with. So yeah, I knew that as my channel grows, I'm going to get more and more haters and stuff, but people just are really touchy about that Angela Bassett. So here, I was asked about Paula Patton, and so I'm going to break her down, and then I'll probably get backlash about that one too, but that's okay. That's part of what I do, so I accept that. So anyways, this is for you, Veronica. Let's get started. All right. In this first picture here, what I'm seeing is hooded eyes behind a brow ridge right here. You can't really see that it's a sloping forehead, but it's a male looking hairline. But yeah, brow ridge here. Just this person has the most chiseled square jawline imaginable, and it's likely that this pointy chin is from a chin implant. That's what I would think, because I've got more pictures later on where you can see where it shows the whole jawline, and this person just massive skull, massive big head, square jawline, and brow bone. That's what I see right here. Now, one thing I will give Paula is that they've done a good job as far as her trachea. I've never seen Paula Patton with a protruding trachea, or with Adam's apple sticking out. And so I'm thinking this person very well may be a castrato, because that if they never go through puberty as a male, it keeps the Adam's apple down. It keeps a lot of the male secondary sex characteristics, it keeps them repressed, I guess would be a good word for that. Keeps them from being shown. Now here, okay, this is a telling photo right here. And of course, I guess I'll start with the skull. Let me zoom in. Okay, you got brow ridge here. You've got deep set eyes. You've got high, wide cheekbones with the sunken cheeks and everything chiseled. Just a chiseled skull. So you got the cheekbones that are high and wide. The eyes are pretty far set apart. Square jawline. You can tell that it's wide shoulders. Like, the shoulders are just massive on this person. It's more than 3 head widths. I'll just say that. You got a straight up and down torso, but it also looks like Paula's likely been wearing a corset, because you'll see at certain times when it's like it seems like the waist is going in, and they may have had a rib removed. I don't know, but you'll see what you think is a waist indent above the navel, which I'd estimate the navel's about here. But look, you got an Adonis belt down here. There's the end of the hip bone. So the navel's here and the hip bone is down there. It's like this one, I could say done and dusted right here. But y'all know that's not how I like to break people down. It's like I could break this person down from one photo, but it just wouldn't be my best work. So, anyways, okay, here we go. You can see, and this is just a deceptive, this is a swimsuit that was made just for deception. But it doesn't work. It's not working, Paula. Because your hip bone is down here, and the navel, I'd estimate, is actually right, probably about there. It's covered. So they're going to cover the navel, so they'll give you no reference point. But these hips end extremely low down. And still, if you look at this, it's a straight up and down torso. For the most part, which they may have had a rib removed at the bottom. But still, you got the hips that are ending just so low. And the navel at the lowest is going to be like at the end of this necklace. But still, the hips are well below that. And you got really beat up kneecaps on this person. They got some of the most severe beat up kneecaps I've ever seen. Paula Patton has some severe kneecaps, and they have huge feet as well. But, yep, Adonis belt. Okay, this photo is interesting because basically, okay, what I'm seeing here is the collarbone. Robin Thicke is an FTM. And how can I say that? Because you got sloping down shoulders. See? You got collarbones that go up in a V towards the shoulder. But yeah, slumped shoulders. And look, wide hips as well. And this Adonis belt is fake. That's a surgery. And you know how I can say that? Because look, we're going to zoom in on Robin Thicke. You know why? Because right there and right there. Do you see it? Right there. Right there. There and there is a female waist indent. And if you look, see, the shoulders are narrow. The hips are wider than the shoulders right here. Short humerus bone. See that? Short arms. The arm ends around the crotch level. Now I'm going to zoom out. Now let's look at Paula. You've got shoulders here that could hold 3.5 heads. Definitely. It's just wide. It's so wide. Because like, let's say, okay, 1, 2, 3, definitely. But there's more space. I'd say 3.5 head widths on these shoulders. I'll go ahead and zoom. Now look, see? These hands, if she put her hand and extended her fingers, it's going to be, the fingers are going to be down here. That's halfway down to the knee. And this person has long legs too. And no Q angle there. See? Vertical legs. Yes, it appears to be an indent there, but they've got an Adonis belt down here. Their hip bone's down here. So they've either had a rib removal or they've been doing corset training, wearing a corset. But, yes, see how long the humerus bone is on Paula compared to on Robin? It's short. There it's long. Wide shoulders. The collarbones also. Let's look at her collarbone. And there's a dress. Like, see, she likes to keep the hair covering up at least one side. But the collarbones on this person are horizontal. And they go all the way out to the edge as well. And also you can look and see how soft Robin's kneecaps are. There's nothing beat up about them. There's nothing jutting out. It's soft kneecaps. Fake Adonis belt. Wide. Hips are widest right there. Short arms. Short arms. V'd up collarbone. Slumped shoulders. And Robin has a much smaller head than Paula. You can tell that right away. So small head, slumped shoulders, V-shaped collarbones. Look, also, if you look at Robin, the breasts are asymmetrical. Looks like that side's larger. But yes, fake Adonis belt, female waist indent. See, it's right there. It's right there. And right there. Short arms, small hands, wide hips, soft kneecaps. Yep. So this is a double. It's a 2-for-1, y'all. They're both reversed. They're reverse transgender. Just like Jay-Z and Beyonce. That's the couple I like to use because they're just the most notable couple, I think, out there that, you know, everybody knows who they are. And they are both, like Jay-Z and Beyonce, are reverse transgender, just like Paula and Robin were. Here you go. Adonis belt. See how this is fake right here. This is rib removal or a corset. Because that's not where the waist indent, that's not, they can make a man's waist indent above the navel, but it doesn't help when the hip bone is below the navel. That's the end of the hip bone. That's well below. That's a couple inches below the navel. And of course, you got your square jawline and man skull. And also, Paula has a flat back, which I'm going to get to in just a second. But yeah, I thought this person, even though there's other people that have asked for videos before them, I thought I would go ahead and cover this because this was the one nice comment I got amongst like 50 or 100 bad comments. So anyways, this is just the bone straight flat back. And yes, the back of a man will curve right above the rear. And this person has a nice rear, but it's still a man rear. Flat back, flat, flat, flat. Now, a female's back, or one thing that I've noticed a female back will do is that the neck will kind of curve out. They'll curve out at their neck, and then, anyways, it curves a little bit outward at the neck, and then females will go, and then it curves inward sharply right below the scapula. So a female will curve out a little bit. Whoops, I don't want to do that. They'll curve out a little bit, and then I don't want to twist the picture either. I just have to explain it with words. Okay, they'll curve out a little bit, and then right about where the back of the bra line, see, the scapula would be about here. So a female's back curves in, and it'll curve back out. And that curve in a female's back is to help support and offset the weight in the front of carrying a pregnancy, of bearing children. So, no, this person has never carried a child because men don't have a womb, first off. And I feel like I'm rambling. Okay, anyways, here you can kind of see a collarbone, and it's out to the edge, but this person just has massively wide shoulders, and here you have your fake indent there, but you still have the Adonis belt showing. So, and you can see one beat up kneecap there. Here we go. Yep. Now, if y'all remember back, I told you to look at Robin's kneecaps. See? This is what beat up kneecaps are. They're sinewy. That's a good word. They're just bony protrusions. And this is just a good photo for a lot of things. You've got man's skull and what appears to be a chin implant. Now, Paula doesn't have anything poking out of the neck. That's the one thing I will give her that they did a good job with. But anyways, okay, you've got long arms, and they end halfway down to the knee. Like I've told, I say it in just about every breakdown I do, that like men have longer arms. Females' arms more often will end, or at least the palms will be at about crotch level, but this person's arms are longer than that. So you've got extremely wide shoulders. You've got no hips here. long arms. You've got corset training or removed rib there. And you just got shoulders that are a mile wider than the hips, no matter what you do. And you got beat up kneecaps. And this is a good looking person, but it's still a Baphomet. That is what it is. Okay, here we go. Here's another photo. And, oh, this photo also, I don't want to get sidetracked. Let me show you this first. This is a brow ridge. See this right there where it curves above the eye? Right there. I know y'all can see that. That's the brow ridge. And then you can see the forehead is kind of sloping back. It slopes back. But yep, that right there is the brow ridge. And that's the curve. It's the protrusion like underneath the eyebrows. It's like where the eyebrows are on a man, the skull sticks out a little bit right there, and then it slopes back from there. And then you've got, of course, the square jawline. But what this picture was mainly for was also to show the flat back. It's just bone straight and flat all the way. And then, yes, the back does curve, but it's right above the rear. So it's just straight, 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 and then curve right above the butt. A female's back is going to be where it's like the neck will kind of curve out a little bit right here, and then it'll be straighter up until here, and then it curves inward, and then curves back out. And there's no curve in this back. That is straight and flat from the top to the bottom. Okay, this photo here is a good photo to show you the man's skull. And especially, yeah, you can see the brow ridge here and the fact that it's a sloping back forehead. But it's a good photo to show you the entire square jawline. It comes up, it's just chiseled like a box. Very angular. Comes down and just square jawline. And there's some high prominent cheekbones there. Okay, this is one photo where they actually caught the collarbones. See, but she likes to keep her hair. She knows that people are looking. She knows she has mile wide shoulders. Okay, and so she knows that she's paying attention to keep that hair covering up. You almost always see her hair covering one side at least. But yeah, right here you can see the collarbone is straight and horizontal, and it goes all the way to the edge. And also you got long arms. You got that's an artificial indent, as I showed you before, because this person has Adonis belt. Way below, not way below, but they do have their hip bone ends, like I'd say 2 inches below their navel. So they've got a high navel. Here was that whole photo, because it just, there's more you can see. Like you can see the long arms here that are halfway down to the knee, beat up kneecaps, long feet. And yeah, I'd already pointed out the collarbones, but yeah, you can't trust it just because they have they have a waist indent above the navel if they've got an Adonis belt that is visible below the navel. But, yep. Okay. This photo, which, yep, see, they're being deceptive here because they've removed ribs or whatever, but look, you got a male digit ratio there. But I mean, yeah, and there, with the ring longer than the index. But that is a soft marker at best. I'm just going to say that right now. Because every time I mention ring longer than the index, it inflames people and makes them angry. And that's not the point. Both my daughters, Daisy has ring longer than the index on both hands. And Lexi has ring longer than the index on one hand. So, but no, my mom has both ring longer than the index. I don't. I have index longer than the ring. But it's like, as far as people that are real females within my own family, me having an actual what's considered to be feminine digit ratio, I'm the minority. And the majority have the digit ratio that's supposed to be male. So that's a soft marker. I'm just saying ignore this indent here because we've already seen that their hip bone ends below the navel. And that is impossible on a real female. You will never see a real female with their hip bone ending below their navel. It's just because that's another thing. Adonis belt below the navel, a hip bone ending below the navel does not happen on a female because that's coded for in our DNA for the hips to end above the navel. That's just the way we were designed by God. So, anyways, beat up kneecaps. Here was a good image. And wow, they look good in green. But still, it's still just a dude. And you can, like I said, I've been saying in all these pictures, you ignore this. Because we've seen that they have an Adonis belt below the navel. Their hip ends below the navel. So anything they've got going on above the navel is false. This is a created waistline. It's not one they're born with. And see, she's got her hair covering up one side, you know, and then, but over here, look at that. That's horizontal collarbone. And it ends at the edge of the shoulder. Yep. That's a beautiful dress, though. It's a shame because this would have been a good-looking man if they could just be a man. But they won't let you be a man, a real man, and be an actor. There's very few. I'll take that back. I don't want to say, I don't like to talk in absolutes. Because I think there are some real men actors in Hollywood somewhere. But most people are switched up. But in any case, yep, look at the collarbone. It's out to the edge. And it's horizontal. And the shoulders on Paula are 3.5 head widths. At least. And I'm just going to go back to this photo and leave y'all with the fact that what this couple was a female with wide hips. And also, I was talking about the, like, Adonis belt, like the hips ending below the waist. But, see, I want to leave y'all with this. Remember this here. Don't forget, don't let them fool you. Because this is a fake Adonis belt surgery. And it's because they got the female waist in it right there and right there. The hips on Robin still end, and look where that is. That's a couple inches above the navel, where the hips really end, and you can see the indent. There's nothing we can do to get rid of that. Nope. Robin still has female markers, and the slump shoulders, and the V-up collarbones, and the small head. The wide hips, wider than the shoulders, the short arms, just the soft kneecaps, everything. I'm not going to re-break them down. But what you have here, like in closing, I'll say what you have here is just what's typical in Hollywood, and that is a reverse transgendered couple. They're both presenting as the sex opposite of what they were born with, and it's because it's their religion. These people are generational Satanists. They worship the Baphomet goat god that has boobs and a penis both. They worship this lowercase God. And so to honor their god, their lowercase God, to honor him, her, it, to honor it, the parents switch up the genders on the children. Which I'm not going to go through and look at their children because I don't think it's right or it's really fair to break down children. But, like, down the line, if you go 10, 15 years from now and you were to look at their kids, you'd be willing to bet that those kids are also the opposite gender of what they're presenting them as well. So, this was a fun video to make, and I hope y'all have a blessed day. And like today, I held off. I didn't take my pain medication so I'd be able to be more focused and I wouldn't be nauseated long enough to make this video. But I'm hurting, so I'm about to have my medication. But I know there's those of y'all that have asked me. I know I haven't forgotten about your requests, and I have about 20 of them. I just did this one because it was kind of touching to have like a sweet, it's kind of stood out to me to have one sweet comment amongst like 100 jerks. So yes, I haven't forgot about the rest of y'all's requests. I'm hoping that maybe today will be when they get me some nausea medication, because I've called and it's like they haven't got back with me. But once I get some nausea medication on board, I'll be able to do these long breakdowns and these involved videos like this one right here, like what y'all are asking for. I'll be able to do those. But I can't catch up on 20 plus requests when I'm feeling like I could throw up at any second. So, thanks for understanding, and I hope all of y'all have a blessed day.